Okay, what's up, everybody? I'm doing a recording. Uh, it's been a while since I've done one, so bear with me. It might be a little rusty, but Bitcoin is showing that we had accumulation this last week from the commercial money. Um, that could be the brokers, could be the hedge funds. I don't know. The blue is usually your hedge funds, but with Bitcoin, it could be a little different. Um, so according to this, even though your flag pattern has rolled over, started down, you're getting into a seasonality time frame that we could get a sell off. I could show you the exact. That shows a down period until like June 14th. Um, I'm thinking we might get a bounce around May 15th, May 25th, somewhere in there. Um, but definitely have a good seasonality June 14th, the week of that for Bitcoin. But on stocks, the Dow Jones is set up for a sell off. I'm really surprised we haven't seen some kind of sell off. Seasonality, we should have got some kind of sell off until March, until this coming week. This next week could be a bounce time frame where stocks could go up starting next week sometime. So I'd watch out for that. Now, they may just be propping it up for the election. Who knows? I don't want to get into all that, but um, your cattle market on April weekly futures, they're definitely the commercial money's getting out. They're selling. They're in the sell zone pretty heavy. Your public money's coming out. Your hedge funds are buying, which is usually a pretty good time to sell. Seasonality, you're in a sell time frame until looks like April 26th, the week of that. So I'd watch out for live cattle. It looks like they may have topped out for a while, but we are supposedly in a cattle shortage, so that may drive demand up further. Just to see what it does next week, I guess. But silver, your commercial money's in the deep sell zone on silver. So you are in a good time seasonal wise up until about April 12th. Looks like it's a decent time, seasonality wise, but you don't have the commercial support. The hedge funds are propping it up on silver, but your open interest is going up, but most of that accumulation is from hedge funds. Yeah, even your public's starting to sell. Your commercial money's definitely selling. So I wouldn't see a very strong rally on silver, but that's just me, not financial advice. But as far as crude oil goes, you're seeing commercial selling. You're in an uptrend. Your hedge funds are starting to get into accumulating. Um, your sentiment is getting a little overheated, a little overbought. Open interest came up a little bit last couple of weeks, but your commercial money has been selling pretty much throughout this entire rally. So it could be getting to the tail end of that. You're getting into your seasonality. You might get another 2 or 3 weeks out of it till April 12th, and then that shows a down cycle mostly till December 13th. Now, seasonality wise, I would think it would bounce, in the leading up May and June, going into the summer, but I don't know, maybe not. Let's see, soybeans. You've got pretty heavy commercial buying. They did sell off some. That's kind of what they do when it starts to bounce on your up weeks. They take profits and they sell a small percentage, a little bit every week that it goes up. So I would look for soybean meal, soybean oil. They're set up pretty good. Um, should go up mostly until early July. July 12th is what I show as a seasonality top. Your commercial money did sell out some of their net position last week. Open interest ticked up a little bit. This pink line. Um, so keep an eye on that. Soybean oil is set up pretty good. It's bounced 1, 2, 3. Went down last week, so up 3, down 1 week. Commercial money's starting to sell out, take profits, so that's usually a sign you should get your rally when they start selling. Open interest went up a little bit, mostly led by the public and the hedge funds, so that's usually a sucker bet going up, but you can still get a good rally out of it. You could get 6, 7 week rally out of it. If you look at the gold, it's pretty much like silver. You've got heavy selling down here on the index, on the COT index. Um, Open interest is up, but that's mostly bought from the hedge funds and the public, the small money compared to the commercial money. So I just don't like those odds. I'd rather take a perfect setup than to take, a 50-50 or 60-40% likelihood of a win. I'd rather bet on that 70, 80, 90% likelihood of a win. I got stopped out of a soybean trade last week. Thought it was a sure thing, but turned out it wasn't. So maybe I had my stop loss too close to the price action. I don't know, but either way, just wasn't perfect timing, I guess. If you go to the daily, I believe it's still got the buy signal, but I don't know. It just didn't work out. Maybe it's should theoretically you should be in a decent seasonal time frame next week. I'm hoping for a bounce. Daily. I don't like this setup right here. I don't know what you call that. Kind of looks like you're getting the middle finger to me. It goes up, then it goes flat. It did, kind of a doji candle, with a long tail on top. That's a topping signal usually. And then you get your down day right after that. So that's not a great daily setup. But as long as it stays above your will stop by Larry's rules, technically you're supposed to stay in it. So I probably had my stop loss too close, to the price action. I got stopped out. I lost $1,000. That's my daily limit. That's all. That's all I'm going to risk. I'm not going to wipe out my entire portfolio to try to bet on a market that I don't really know anything about. But so, and if you go over here to Bitcoin futures on the Symbolic website, you're on a +7 count, 7 weeks of going up. Continuations on a 10. Your cloud, Ichimoku cloud, indicates we should continue to the upside, but and your Williams COT index also shows the commercials bought last week, even though if you go to the actual COT index, that's weird. How do I get out of that? Let's see. Let me go to this maybe. If you go to the actual COT website, yeah, see that didn't hold on. Why that didn't keep that on there? But go to crypto, go to Bitcoin, go to dealers. They show their net position as the yellow line. They show that actually went down. According to that, I don't know how Larry calculates that on his indicator, but the actual data showed a -4% on longs from the dealers last week. Open interest declined, not a lot, 100 points or so. Your public money, they increased their longs almost 2%. Non-reportable went down 7%, 7.5%. So Not great. Not a great setup. They show they increased their shorts by 1% on the dealers. I'd watch out for that. Uh, doesn't necessarily mean Bitcoin's going to crash anytime soon. We're overdue for a small correction, I think. But um, if you look at this, your weekly pattern has rolled over. If this candlestick closes today below this yellow line, that's your 4-week moving average. Uh, right now, that's showing 66,528. Somewhere in there. If you close below that, that's not a good signal. Weekly. You could go to your daily. Uh, see where the will stop is. Yeah, we're well below the will stop. So 68,400 is your daily will stop. So we've been below that since March 15th was the top, the exact top. I guess the day before was the highest high at 74,415 is what I show on Binance. Or that's the futures. That's a futures price. But yeah, that's not a great setup there. You're on a -7 daily, so that could come down 2 more days at least before we see a bounce. So possibly Monday, Tuesday could see a little pullback. I mean, you could pull the actual Bitcoin uh, chart, I suppose, and see what it shows on just Binance. Um, yeah, it's showing the same thing. The will stop, I believe, is your yellow. Yeah, that's showing 68,956. As long as you're below that on a daily, technically that's a sell signal, which hit March 15th. You close below it, and ever since then we've stayed below it. So we're kind of in the bear, even though you know that's on a one down count right here today, March 24th. So even though it's an up day, ideally I'd like to see it get back above this 68, 69,000. Definitely 69,000. Ideally, even better, perfect world be above 70,000 would be your perfect strength setup. And I don't know, we may not get it. You know, seasonality wise says it should go up next week. There's no guarantee in that, but I can take these off so you can see it a little better. But let's see, take that index off. Yeah, you're seeing. It pretty much called for this rally, which we got. Now this week is a down week. You went down 4%. Not the end of the world, but so we might get an up week next week. We'll see. I mean, if you go to like your 4 hour, you can kind of tell short term. Yeah, we've started back up off the bottom since last night. 11 o'clock, 7 o'clock in the afternoon. We've ticked up a little bit, 2.5%, 1,600 points. I mean, that's a decent bounce day. I would expect that to continue. Possibly to a 9 count, maybe top of this cloud, which would be 67,276. And then you may get some kind of pullback after that. That'd be 3, 4, 5, maybe 6 to 7 bars. A 4 hour candlesticks. So that could go up a 24-hour period, fairly easy. You're up against a moving average resistance, pretty close, but I would expect it to test the top of that cloud, 67,000 zone, and then it may pull back again and retest the bottom of the cloud. And if you lose that again, that's showing a significant amount of weakness, especially daily. If you lose the cloud on the daily basis, that's 55,273. You lose the bottom of the clouds, 51,277. So that would definitely be a bad sell signal if you lose. If you go below 51,000, that's going to be pretty bad for Bitcoin. But I don't know what the cycle is saying. I guess we could pull the crystal ball, pull the Williams cycle on this thing, see what it's doing, see what it says. Yeah, that's let me get rid of this. That's I just like have one indicator sometimes. Gets kind of confusing. That's actually calling for a Monday down tick, and then Tuesday should go up, and Wednesday back down, kind of sideways to up till maybe the 30th. Cloud saying mostly sideways price action, so it could just kind of be flat on a daily basis. It kind of looks like April 1st, you've got a decent bounce time right there, according to the cycle, until maybe about the middle of April. And then you might get a decent sell off middle of April until, it's mostly down until at least May 25th, according to that. You get your bounces, but the average trend is downward till May 25th at least. After about the middle of April tax day, April 15th, that could be mark a short-term top. I mean, I think long-term we'll go to 100,000, may hit 200, 250,000 by the end of the year. But we're going to have some volatility, most likely coming up in April. I don't know exactly when. We do have that solar eclipse on April 8th coming up. I would really watch out for that day. That looks like a pretty decent sell-off, at least a 2-day sell-off after April the 8th. So I would watch out for that. I may take profits before then because they're saying this April 8th solar eclipse day could be like a biblical type bad day for global whatever, like earthquakes, tsunamis, tornadoes, hurricanes. I don't know. Look it up on Google. There's a lot of videos on it, or TikTok. There's a lot of videos too. But it could end up just being a nothing day. Who knows? But there's some pretty condemning signals and evidence that says it could be a pretty significant day. It's enough that I'm not willing to risk my portfolio during that time frame. But I mean, it's a 2-day downtick, possibly, and who knows? It may rally right back, for at least a 5-day bounce, according to that. So, I may be scaring myself out for nothing. It's the hoodoo, signals and stuff. But so anyway, I don't want to get into that too much, but I'll end this video and keep it short and sweet, hopefully, and we'll catch y'all on the next one.